Welcome to Beyond the Walls, a podcast for women ready to break barriers and step boldly into their purpose. I'm Kylie, your coach and guide for overcoming fear, silencing self-doubt, and building a life of courage and connection. Whether faith is your anchor or you're still trying to figure it out, this is a space for growth, authenticity, and transformation. Subscribe now and let's start building the courage to be seen, heard, and unstoppable. This is Beyond the Walls, where your purpose begins. I want you to imagine walking into a room, whether it's with family, friends, or new people, and feeling completely at ease. That you could walk into that room, into that space, into that social situation with no more second guessing your words, no more wondering if you truly belong. And instead, you're present, you're engaged. You get to feel deeply connected to the people, to feel secure in who you are, to speak with clarity, be able to set boundaries with confidence, and to invite real conversations that leave you feeling known and valued. Now, before you start letting fear come in and just take all of that possibility away with reasons and the circumstances that might make it seem like that would be impossible, I can't even imagine that happening. I want you to just stay present in that space and just imagine what it would feel like. If it was possible, would you want that? What if I told you that it is 100% possible, even in your current circumstances, before you have to radically change all of these external things? Would you believe me? You know, here at Beyond the Walls, this is my desire for you, my hope, my mission, my calling, my personal experience of helping other women to step into their own value, to believe in their value, to get their identity back out of the world and out of other people's hands, to stop apologizing for just existing, and to dare to dream, to believe, and to live out of this place of full acceptance of their value and of their worth. Now, I'm not talking about perfection. I'm not talking about this being something that just goes away and you never get plagued with, right? There's never any temptation again. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's an overnight experience. It's not going to be without challenges or other people telling you otherwise and challenging that and judging you and condemning you. But I have 100 episodes of proof for you. 100, you guys. I can't believe it, and yet I can. Because I made a decision way back. It feels so far away now. Back in January of 2017, 8 years ago, I walked out of a workshop believing 100% that I was loved and acceptable. That God sees me, He made me, designed me with all of my strengths, but even my weaknesses. I believed that He wanted me to participate in my life, my own life, to create, to serve, to live out loud with all my strengths and especially my weaknesses. I also want to make it really clear. I grew up in a very spiritual home. I became a Christian back in 2003. I dedicated my life to letting Jesus be Lord. But even in those safe environments, in the healthy places, in being committed to trying to follow God and to believe those things, it took that many years later for it to really transform my mind and my spirit to come into complete alignment with each other, where I decided I'm going to stop arguing with God and to stop telling Him that He's a liar. I'm going to stop refusing forgiveness for myself. I'm going to stop leaning into the condemnation, the lies, the fears, the yeah buts. So till I got to that point back in January of 2017. It had taken me 33 years to be definite in my purpose for my life, that my weaknesses were not going to be a reason to not do something. From that moment, my life began to expand, to grow, to mature, and become unrecognizable. I became and transformed into places that I was actively resisting most of my life. Step by step, it brought me to where I am today. And little by little, decision by decision, I didn't decide actually to have a podcast until November of 2023. And it's taken 2 years to get to 100 episodes. Since then, I have had over 25 women share their personal stories of overcoming and living out loud. And I look forward to meeting more women and sharing more women's stories of victory and overcoming and going beyond their walls, of living examples for you and for me and for each of us to not be afraid, to be willing to be seen and heard. These women have each come from so many different places in life. They've overcome their own personal shame, trauma, abuse, loss, disappointments, fears, self-doubt, just to name a few. And I think that's what's so beautiful about when we share our stories. You don't have to know exactly the exact same circumstances. You didn't have to grow up in the exact same household or to experience the same kind of trauma to be able to connect on those levels. We as women, we all wrestle with those things. We all deep down just really want to feel valuable and loved and accepted. But in each of these women that have been on my podcast to help me get to 100 episodes and in the stories that I've shared, they're all examples of women who have leaned into the pain. They've leaned in so that they can cross over to hope, healing, health, love, and forgiveness. I think the secret to all of these women is that they chose to not let the world define them, not let their weaknesses hold them back, or to be good enough reasons to not move forward and to accomplish all that they were designed to accomplish. They wanted to not be held back by their circumstances, their past, their fears. They began to trust and accept what God actually says about them instead of what they said they weren't. Now, I want you to think back to the beginning of this episode, just a few minutes ago, when I offered you that possibility of entering that room. And I want you to think now about what was your yeah buts that came to mind? What are you seeing as your walls that are preventing this from being your reality? What are the reasons, the justifications, the excuses why that can't happen for you? Why are you different? Why are you too far gone to be able to experience all of that love and security? Remember when I said that you can have security and confidence without your circumstances changing? I hope you believe me a little bit more. I hope that with a reminder of all of these episodes that I've had so far and all the women that I've had on here, and you can be thinking about the other people that you know in your personal life, your own victory stories that you've had, to start to be proof for you that you can have this. When you go back and you listen to these episodes and you hear these stories of these women, they didn't change their circumstances first. Each and every one of them, it started with an internal decision in their spirit, in their mind, in their thoughts, in their heart. Their self-worth and their value wasn't in their circumstances or in their accomplishments or in their productivity or in other people's opinions. Every single one of them hit a rock bottom, so to say. Every single one of them came to a turning point, a crossroads, a fork in the road that they had to make a decision to do something radically different. And they chose to do the different. The way to obtain this life starts with a willingness to imagine what it would be like, to be open to desiring that kind of a life. The next step after that is being willing to examine the walls that are preventing you from this. What are all those excuses and reasons and circumstances? What are those things that you have given way too much power to? And I want to ask you if you're willing to believe and imagine that something else, something better is possible. If you are, then I have a really exciting offer. In celebration of my 100th episode, I'm going to offer you 1 month of free coaching. I want to light that spark of belief to kickstart your transformation, because it really just takes that one small spark to fan the flame. To have that one deep enough win of that internal thoughts of acceptance, to one more belief in you that anything is possible. Let there be no more excuses to get in your way. Not time, not money, not help from other people, because I'm here, I'm offering you my help. Not fear to stop, to be. I don't want anything to stop you from taking your security to the next level, to go beyond your walls, however that looks. You don't have to know where it's going to take you. You don't have to be freaked out and scared that it's going to be too much to handle, because all that is in view for you is that one next step. You'll be ready when the time comes. When you look back and you look at that leap, right? I think about this podcast itself. I couldn't be so consumed about worrying about what was going to happen at 100. And even now, I cannot have to be too consumed about what's going to happen at 200, right? I am one episode at a time, one commitment to say, hey, you know what? This is how I'm going to show up, rain or shine. I'm going to show up in my weakness. I'm going to learn on the job. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to pivot along the way, because I can. And so can you. I would love to work with you, to help you to see what could be possible. You don't have to be freaked out. You don't have to go it alone. You just get to take the next step that's in front of you. So you might be feeling like, yeah, let's do this. I'm ready. This is the time. I've been waiting. 100 episodes is your sign. In the show notes, there's going to be a form for you to fill out. And this is going to be your ticket into getting and receiving. Every one of you that fills this out will receive this. It's not a drawing. There's no little token gift that will come. Everybody gets the prize. In it, you're going to be able to give me some feedback, because the more that I know, the more insights I have about what your problems are, about the language that you speak, about your peers and things that are causing you angst. That gives me more feedback to be able to cater, to curate, to communicate in a way that is going to reach you the best. Because if I can help as many women as possible, that is what I'm here for. I want every woman to feel this way, to stop arguing, to stop apologizing for taking up space. I want them to stop doubting their God-given value and belief and worth in who they are. And out of that space, that is where our purpose belongs, our work belongs, our productivity belongs, the ability to serve other people and to show up, right? When we get to serve other people out of our overflow, instead of it being out of shame, being out of less than, being out of proving my identity, there's nothing greater than that. So would you help me by taking a moment and filling this form out? If you feel like, hey, you know what? I already have a coach. I love listening to your stuff. I already have that help. I've been through those things. You can share it with a friend. Give it to somebody else that you think could really benefit from this in their life, that they may have been looking and asking and just don't know where it's going to come from. Share it with them. Have them enter so that I can help them and work with them. I want to thank you so much as well for your support, for your encouragement, for your graciousness as I've just shown up in my weakness and shown up in my good enoughs to be able to be here, to just live out loud, to be given this opportunity to live the life that I committed to living so long ago, but didn't realize how it was going to look. I can't believe over these last 2 years, the people that I've been able to connect with, the conversations that I've been able to have, the women that I've been able to coach, the ways that I've grown. I get to continue to grow in this space too, while I live out loud the things that I'm talking about on here. They're life lessons that I've had to learn, that I'm still learning, that I'm going to continue to learn the rest of my life. And I hope that you feel that kind of security, that safety to show up imperfect in your weakness, not knowing what to do. And you don't have to wait till you're perfect to get here. You don't have to wait till you've overcome. And once you've gotten all of these things figured out, then you'll be secure. I want you to consider that it starts first in that small decision to stop apologizing, to stop showing up out of your weakness, out of your I'm not good enoughs. You are good enough right where you are to start. And then you get to just keep leveling up over and over and over again, not to be loved, but out of your love. I can't wait to see what the next 100 episodes bring us. Please subscribe, share with as many people as you can. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I look forward to connecting with you one-on-one. Thanks for listening to Beyond the Walls. If this episode inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend and leave a review. Your support helps more women step into their courage and purpose. Ready for more? Subscribe to the podcast and contact me. You can find me at beyondthewallspodcast.com. Reach out for coaching, more resources, and all the support you could need. Remember, breaking through the walls is just the beginning. Your best life is waiting.